wildly. And I don't believe that it's one of those things that I think we were programmed somewhere in our journey of adult. Someone programmed us to think that owning a business is extremely hard. Someone told
Right.
us, or someone
Mm-hmm.
said, "Hey, this is the hardest thing in life." And
Yeah.
I would love it if entrepreneurs would change their narrative to say, to get to the point where it's like, all you got to do is dot, dot, dot. I think
Right.
it would
Yes.
encourage
Oh
Come on.
more
man.
people to
It is
say,
so
hey,
worth
like,
it.
let me not spend 4 weeks trying to figure out, like, oh my God, like I had a client that took, like, literally, I think about a month and a half, 6 weeks to figure out a $10 problem. And I was literally like, I'm like, this is not hard. This is not hard. You are skipping over dollars to pick up pennies right now
Yes.
because over
Yes.
time you were conditioned that saving was a better activity than exploring making more, removing glass ceilings. So
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be hard.
Well,
One of the
it's
things that
good.
I always try to explain to people that one, okay, they give me the lack of exposure. Well, here's my thing in this big old world of the social
Not in
media
2020.
and
Not in
the
2020.
internet and all that other good stuff. If a glass ceiling has been broken, the glass ceiling is broken. It's not that
Yeah.
that person broke a glass ceiling only for them. The glass ceiling has been broken. The barrier has been erupted. It has been pushed through. So if they did it, then it's doable.
It's a
So
Yeah.
4 minute mile.
what is the challenge
Yeah.
in, well, I can't do it because I had a professor recently challenge me, because one of the things that I used to always say is I used to get very frustrated because I'm looking around saying, well, I'm not any different than anybody else, so I don't understand why more people can't do what I've done. And
Right.
he solarplexed me and he said, but you're selling yourself short in the spaces that you are unique, number one. And number
Mhm.
two, what have you told them about how you did it so that they can do it? I mean, literally, if you move from Chicago to Arkansas, then the people in Chicago might want to move to Arkansas.
Right.
Whatever
That's
your
right.
steps were,
Yeah.
actually map those out so that people can follow. That's what leadership is about. Let them follow you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And,
it's not hard. It's
and we
strenuous, but it's not hard.
we right. And that was what I was about to say. It's always the example that I use, that it's simple but not easy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so we
Right.
think about it as all this complexity and this mind molding and mindset change, and I have to do this and I have to do that. The concept of being a business owner, the things that are necessary to be done, are quite simple. For one main reason, they're quite simple because they've been done. There are very few businesses that are
Right.
never before seen businesses. Like, everything that we're
Yeah.
doing has been done before. Just because we're using a different medium or a different technology or a different method or something like that doesn't mean that the business hasn't been done before. And so somebody has explored the template. It's something that a friend of mine always references. He always talks about how he learns from the greatest minds in the world. So he's learned from Rockefeller, and he's learned from Michelangelo, and he's learned from, Frederick Douglass. And people always like, what are you talking about? He's like, they all wrote books. They all wrote books, and they all talked about how they did the thing they did, and they all talked about how you can do the thing that they did. And so now you have the opportunity to learn from them. But like you said, we approach business with such a complexity mindset, or we just look at it as it's going to be as difficult as it was for us to try to climb this corporate ladder that nobody wanted us to go up, or something
Yeah.
like that. And we don't take advantage of the simplicity of what business really is.
Well, but I mean, to everybody's defense, though, we were conditioned that, right? Like
Yes,
when
we were.
when you were in school, if this math problem, if you got a better grade, if you were in pursuit of 100%, that was the thing to do. You had to pursue 100%. If this problem wasn't as hard as this problem, then like you had to look at those things differently, right? So
Right.
So we were conditioned to add complexity to things, because if with more complexity comes things that makes more sense, right? So like,
Right. And not only
it
that,
has
with
to be
more
complex.
with more complexity comes a higher perceived value that we have placed on it. So if it's
Yes,
harder for us to
exactly.
do, then we must be better at doing stuff because we achieved the thing that was harder to do. And so we have geared ourselves to make things difficult simply so we can feel good about the fact that we did the hard thing. I know why you laughing, Joe.
I honestly think when we all leave this earth, I think we're gonna go to heaven and God gonna be like, y'all stupid people, y'all made this way too hard. I think God gonna be like, y'all made what is this calculus thing? Why did y'all do that to yourself?
Like, what are y'all going through, man?
God gonna be like, why did y'all do it like that? Like, you made it so much harder for yourself.
Yeah.
I definitely think so.
Ground, grow the food, eat, and build.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's all I told you to do. That's all I told
you to do. And I think we're gonna get up. We're gonna get there, and he gonna be like, "Y'all really messed up." Like
Joe said, "I'm gonna be upset."
I'm trying to tell you that's how it's gonna go down. That's exactly how it's gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, but no, I watched. But that's the other thing too, right? Like it is a decision. It is a decision to look at something and make it harder, make it easy. You know, and so I think that business is one of those things that, you know, we're kind of battling this. We're battling the conditioning of those around us as well, right? Like, you know, if you have people around you that also see business as this scary monster. I love the have you ever watched Black Mirror?
Yes.
Oh yes.
That's my favorite show. Favorite show.
Favorite ever.
And the way we see things a lot of times is based off of our perception and how we create or co-create this environment around us. Yeah. Sometimes the way that we see things isn't even what it is. It is what our minds created for interpret the things. Blue isn't even blue to you. It's green to me. You know, so listen, we
6 and 9, baby. 6 and 9.
6 and 9. So
6.
Yeah. And
but
so
to the point of it not being as complicated as we make it. So first of all, by no means are we saying leave corporate world, jump out and get your LLC, because there are processes that need to happen. There are steps that you do need to take. But what we're saying is that those steps are not as laborious or complicated as we often make them out to be.
Right.
Especially today.
Exactly.